Hey, it's LA, and this is episode 27 of the Red Pilled Orange Pill Investor. And just checking in on a Saturday. Of course, the market is closed, but down about 10% for the week on the account that I actually track. And which makes sense. Tesla's probably down. Yeah, Tesla's down 13%. My other major holding is, MicroStrategy. There we go. Just lost it again. MicroStrategy actually up 3%. So Tesla's down 10, MicroStrategy's up about 3. I generally try to keep 2 or 3 times as much Tesla as MicroStrategy just to keep the total investments similar. But I will trade in and out. If MicroStrategy's up, maybe I'll buy Tesla. If Tesla's up, I'll buy MicroStrategy and whatnot. But Robinhood is definitely wonky with their margin usage. I think my margin tripled from yesterday to today, so a bunch of contracts must have settled or something. I don't think I'm going to rush right out and use much of that buying power. I think at this point, I'm recovering nicely from previously misallocating my margin. I think I was doing okay, and then I pulled a bunch of money out in order to pay off a loan. And when I did that, I should have sold off more stock when I did that. So I didn't leave a very large margin buffer, and that turned around to bite me when Tesla crashed so hard, and MicroStrategy crashed really freaking hard. So it went from 685 to 500, lost like a third of its value. So that was brutal. That ate up a lot of my margin, and so I'm happy to just have a little bit more cushion. So I'm probably only using like maybe 10-20% of the margin I could be. I'm totally fine with that. I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't give financial advice. However, you definitely have to be careful with margin. And it's just, even if you have money that you can deposit, it's just annoying to see it get close, and you're like, oh, you're using, almost all your margin. You're getting close to a margin call. Get ready to deposit some funds. So it's a pain in the ass at best, and at worst, you can get wrecked and just blow up your entire account. If you were using like all of your margin and you had MicroStrategy at 685 and then it dropped, a third, you could get wrecked. If you don't have somewhere you can pull money from, then you are screwed. And the saying, he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. It makes sense. If you're not super confident about your margin, or don't have an emergency, in case of emergency, break glass fund that you can plug into, then it's probably best just not to even use it. I did. The other thing too is I'm a little bit annoyed because usually when I try to purchase, let's just put one share, it'll have an estimated cost and it's less. Usually when this buying power says initial requirement, you can usually buy these stocks for half price. So I'm still confused about why it's not letting me purchase margin with margin. Like, that's not, this is not margin if you're paying full price for it. So if that continues into next week, maybe I'll contact customer support, or maybe even just reboot my laptop. I don't know if there's a glitch in the matrix or something. But that's the whole point of using margin, is you're supposed to be able to get more shares with the same money. So that's another reason it doesn't really make sense for me to purchase additional shares with that buying power with margin on, and it's not using margin. So just kind of wait and see on that. I mean, I did add 100 hut shares just to screw around with. And I added enough Tesla shares to get to an even 100 round number. That way I could, someone this recovered call. And on my other account where I was really tight on the margin call, I actually rolled my MicroStrategy calls to like 475. So I'm already upside down. It's already exceeded my strike for February 2nd over there, which is fine. I'll just roll them again for the next week. And whether it's for credit or not, we'll see. If it's a little bit of a debit and technically I quote unquote lose some money, it's fine. It's all just part of the same strategy. And the high frequency trading is something that I watched tons and tons of videos from Tasty Trade. I don't know if they're still Tasty Trade or if it's just Tasty Works or both, but most high frequency traders just go broke. I mean, most traders go broke anyway. But if you have a sound strategy, then and you are not making emotional decisions, I think that's more important than anything else. If you're making irrational decisions based on emotion, then you're definitely going broke. But if you have a plan and you stick to it and you're making decisions coldly and emotionlessly, then I think you can stick to your plan long enough for it to work out. Because if you bought, I mean, even something cheap. Let's look at Mara. I mean, if you bought Mara at 30 and then you watched it go down to 16, I mean, that's just brutal. And so if you're the first time you go through that, it's a painful process. But if you've been trading Mara since 2020, then you saw it go to 20, you saw it go to 50, you saw it crash down to 20 again, so in half. Then when Bitcoin pumped again, you saw it go to 75, and then you cried yourself to sleep when it crashed to 20 again. And these people that held, just buy and hold, they bought it for 20, they saw it go to 75, you know, took no profits whatsoever, and just held all the way to 20, then held all the way to 8, 5. But anyway, once you weather these storms, you start to develop the intestinal fortitude to not really worry about this. And in that sense, I don't blame the buy and hold people, because if you're on a 5-year time frame, if you're looking long term, then these people actually got in on Mara at $5, and the fact that it's 18, they're still up, what, 1,000%? So they could have been up 4,000, almost 5,000%. But you really can't complain being up 1,000%. So if you got in at $1.50 and it's 15, and you 10 extra money, can you really be mad that you didn't 30 extra money? I mean, you don't know that this is going to be the top, and then within 1 month, it's back down here. I mean, it feels shitty when you. That's the other psychological part, is when you miss the top. Now, are you going to be like, oh, well, I'll sell for 40? Like, no, you want it to go back to 75 again because you feel like you lost money. What's the other saying on Tasty Trade? I think it was like, if you make $1 million, then you made $1 million. But then if you lose that $1 million, you don't think of it as breaking even. You look at it as losing $1 million. So people that had their accounts up here at 75 don't look at it like, oh, I can sell here for 40 or 20 and still be up because I bought it at $1.50. They just think about it as, oh, damn, I was at $75 a share and now it's, I lost half my money. But for the buy and hold people who can, go 5 years out, 10 years out, good on you. That's kind of the mental fortitude that I try to use even with my style of trading, which is not necessarily day trading. It's week to week, every Friday expiration date, but it's still fairly high frequency. And I'm basically trying to profit by degrees. So I'm willing to take small chunks of profit, just 1% a week, plus some upside. Like let's see here. So I got the 18.5 strike. So I only allowed about 2.5% of upside here because I didn't have a lot of buying power. So I was being a little bit greedy with the premium and not taking a lot of room for upside because Mar had just pumped. So just in case 18.5 is the top, I went ahead and was a little greedier with it. But I'm willing to take these little small chunks every week rather than, I think, what did they say the other day? If you, out of like the whole year, there's like 10 trading days where you make 90% of your money. And I'm basically flipping it. I'm saying I'll take the profit. Let's just say those 10 trading days account for 2 or 3 weeks of trading. I'll take profits on the 48 weeks a year, little small profits on 48 weeks a year, and then I'll sacrifice the upside on the other 4 when the price pumps 10, 20%. So if you're a buy and hold person, good on you. I still think it's superior to buy and sell a covered call, get yourself a discount, lower your cost basis. Eventually, my cost basis on any stock that I own will become 0, and it's all house money after that. So to me, it's the only way you can go wrong is the same way everybody else goes wrong. And if you pick a stock that goes bankrupt, then you've obviously screwed the pooch. But as long as you don't do that, buy and hold is fine. Selling covered calls like I do is fine. I just think that selling covered calls is the superior strategy in the sense that gives you a higher chance of success, and it's not too good to be true because you absolutely have to sacrifice your upside, and I'm more than happy to do that. All right, I think that's enough for now. Be good, y'all.